Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
Welcome to Global TV Talk Show, actually Relocation TV Talk Show today, where we're in the meeting room here, the Global Meeting Room with Michele Bramstoft, who's Managing Director and owner of Copenhagen Relocations in Copenhagen. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm really honored to have this opportunity. So, you got through the pandemic. We both did. I know. And hopefully the whatever is happening out there, the new variant can be put to bed quick.
We're crossing our fingers and our toes. Right. I mean, I've been optimistic since last March.
Right.
And who imagined it would last this long? Denmark is doing well with the whole situation. I think we're 85% vaccinated. And, excuse me, one second, sorry. and they've dropped all the restrictions, but recently they've reinstated the Corona Pass. So if you want to go to a restaurant, a bar, a nightclub, you have to prove that you've been vaccinated, because the numbers are starting to go up again, sadly.
So it's a good thing. And so we're fully vaccinated. We just got the booster also. And no reaction other than just feeling a little tired for a day. But it's really nothing. But it's like a liberating feeling.
Yeah. It is. And my husband was so excited because he just signed up for his second vaccination, or the booster, whatever you want to call it, the third shot.
Yeah, the booster. Yeah. So here in California, it's about 80-85% vax.
Yeah.
And there's still some crazies or people with medical conditions that are preventing that. But it's not that way in other areas of the U.S. And so it's a little strange. And, for me, the concept of going to the recent ERC meeting or the Movers Convention, to which I was invited to go as a media guy, that was free,
Exactly.
I didn't go because, the idea of, although to go and see and be seen would have been real fun, for sure.
Absolutely.
I just got so many things going on here that I just didn't want to take that time and the spend of $2,000-3,000 or so. It's just not
when
appropriate.
The risk is so much higher.
Not appropriate. And so I wanted to do my own meetings also. And I found that people have the same ideas that I have. They say, hey, we'll go to something big, but we don't want to do that. Just keep doing your TVs. And, everyone wins if it's done right. So that's what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of these. And,
excellent. It's wonderful. Do you know how many interviews you've done?
Yeah, 348 or something as of yesterday.
Wow.
That's we've had, amazing. Well, Google Analytics measures everything. So we've had a little over 6,000 what they call audience visits, audience page views during October, and a little bit less than that in 5,500 or something in September, and in August it was between 3,000 and 4,000, which is nothing wrong with, but now it's just like really busy. And so what's happening is that we've been able to sell a few advertising
wow, excellent.
spots. Yeah. Excellent. And so I can pay some bills.
that helps. It's nice to be able to pay bills.
So we need more all the time. So we're developing a new gig. Actually, it's not a new idea. It's a membership thing, and it's called the Global Press Club.
Oh, wow.
Me being
Okay.
media, right? And so
Right,
I'll
right.
send you some info about it. It's not expensive, and of course, I'd love to have you join. But
Okay.
we're not here to talk about that. We want to talk about Copenhagen. Now, Joanne, my life partner for 25 years,
Uh-huh.
and still my girlfriend after all this time.
The love of your life.
So her family's from Denmark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How
so
interesting.
tall and blonde, you know.
Okay.
So, and we've been there a few times, and the cousins have been over here, and so and we still communicate on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But you were here, weren't you here in 2004 for the Euro conference?
something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact year. Actually, more recent than that.
Okay.
But I wanted to announce, we're going to do it more formally, but in April,
Mhm.
late April, Joanne and I are going to go on a tour. I'm setting up a series of live conferences that'll have a virtual component as well. So
Okay.
we maximize the audience that way.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. And so we're going to do London and Paris and Geneva
Okay.
and maybe one or two others. I'm not sure. And then take some time off. But so we're lining up sponsors as
Okay.
well as speakers, and we
Uh-huh.
certainly want you to consider that. So
Okay.
when is Sevilla? It's coming up around that time, isn't it?
It is. It is the last week of March.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's before. So
Yeah.
I would love to be able to go to that, of course, too, but right
That
now
would be,
I don't know. So
well, it is
uh,
fully booked, so you need to put your name on the waiting list.
no, well, good,
Yeah, yeah.
good.
We're hoping that, everything goes as planned. We're setting up all the sessions and getting them all prepared, and I'm working on Ignite again, which is my little, yeah, I'm excited about that. You know the Ignite presentation style. Have you heard
Uh,
of that?
yes, but I've never done it.
Never. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's really a challenge.
Yeah. So let me know if you want some media coverage. Not that you need it, but if you do, happy
Okay,
to jump in.
thank you.
Um, so I don't need to stay at the hotel, if that's what you mean by fully booked.
Well,
So,
actually the conference, the thing about Euro conferences is that we do cap it at 700. And so there's a waiting list for people who, but since everybody's been signed up for 2 years, it's basically the same people. Maybe yeah, but we'll see. It will change between now, possibly now and March. The rooms have opened up so we can book our rooms in the hotel.
oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck with that. That's great.
Thank you.
Happy successes. Okay, so have people been relocating during the past 6 months or so?
The funny thing is, even with the pandemic, because if you have a worthy cause, which is having a job, you could come to Denmark. So even during the pandemic, we had quite a bit of work, surprisingly enough, and also immigration renewals, things like that. Even though there was a big slowdown, there was a steady, we kept busy. But now that the gates are wide open and tourists can come in too, it has exploded. And we feel like Denmark it's a booming economy. There's a lot of construction at the moment, and people are coming, and you know how small Denmark is, 5.6 million people. So there is this need for talent, and we have to look beyond the borders. And we know, yeah, being in the relocation business, how exciting that is, and how it really creates innovation, and diversity creates innovation. And so we need to attract it. And consequently, they're building new buildings for housing. We have, as most big cosmopolitan capitals, there is a shortage, not a shortage, but it can be challenging, let's put it that way, to find accommodation that is affordable and it's to your liking. So
Yeah. So what about pricing here in the US, particularly here in Southern California? Home pricing is through the roof, which as an owner, it's great, but boy, nobody else likes it.
That's right. That's right. But it's true that everything, even business real estate is really through the roof as well. So everything, it's just the economy is really busy right now, and it has been for a little while, especially since Denmark has opened the gates.
So to what extent are you involved with shipping? With the idea of freight being all backed up and actually screwed up, and things aren't getting delivered. It's really hit the relocation industry.
Yes, it has.
It's been a spike in the heart.
Yes. And although that's not our core business, we of course are cooperating with movers, household good movers. But the bit of advice that we are giving is take some extra suitcases. We had one family who, oh, but all my winter clothes are in the shipment. And well, that's when we need to really advise and set the expectation for the transferees that just pay a little extra, have some extra suitcases and bring those things that you need, because there is quite a bit of a slowdown. We haven't felt the big repercussions of it. I think more of the household goods firms are having to handle the bad news with the clients. So we're just trying to set the expectation that, pack some extra suitcases.
So my son-in-law and his family relocated from San Diego to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Under a work from anywhere situation with his employer, which is a medical tech company.
Okay.
That's headquartered here in San Diego, and they didn't care where he worked. He's head of marketing.
Okay.
Does extremely well. But they moved last May, and their stuff arrived via the mover in August.
Oh my gosh, that's tough.
It proved to be very hard on them. And now I advised them early on not to do some things that they said, well, we know better, Ed. Thanks anyway.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta figure it out on our own, sadly.
So actually, the answer is go help the local economy and buy new stuff.
Exactly. Or help a lot of the younger generation, they want to reuse the old stuff. We have had some students working here who, they're only buying secondhand clothes, and you'd be amazing how good these secondhand clothes look. They're like new. And also encouraging the use of there's a lot of people who are leaving, so you try and take advantage of those sales, people who are moving back to wherever it is they came from, and there's a lot of appliances that can be reused. So that's also an option, but it does pumps a lot of energy into our economy when people do come here and have to shop around for a few extras, which is always the case, right? You always need something.
Yeah. So winter is there this time of year. Here in San Diego, it's 75, 80 degrees,
Nice.
sunny. It goes on and on.
We're a little envious, or a lot.
We watch the news and we see the weather maps, but It's not that way in Copenhagen, right? It's already chilly. I see a beautiful scarf, but
Thank you. Thank you.
it's
It is chilly,
it's
but funny enough,
fashionably cold.
yeah, the thing of it is, though, that Denmark is actually we're the Latinos of the Nordics because we're further south. So it's chilly, but it's going to be colder in January, February. That's when the hard winter hits. And I have to share this with you, Ed. When I lived in France, I learned from a very nice Frenchman that you must keep the sun in your heart because then you have it wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, rain or shine, cold or hot.
Well, that's a beautiful saying. That's great. Great. And
that's what we tell our assignees, keep it in your heart because it's not always in the sky.
Hi, this is Ed, and I thank you for tuning in to Global TV Talk Show, a unit on globalbusinessnews.net. We broadcast to the world, as you know by now. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that our programs are advertising supported. We're grateful for co-sponsors, advertisers. They have a marketing budget coupled with a strong desire to be associated with our top quality program. And of course, I'm grateful. Thank you. So for the next few minutes, you're going to see some commercials. It's mostly very low key, and our prices are very, very reasonable. Our exposure for the advertisers go 12 months and beyond. Some of our advertisers have been with us since March, April of 2020. And Google Analytics has tracked over 125,000 what they call audience page views, which means you looking at this page, that's a page view. Now, if you happen to go to one of our other shows or to our radio broadcasts or to our newspaper or magazine, those become additional page views as measured by Google Analytics. And so when they say 125,000 since spring of 2020 up through Labor Day, a month ago, that's pretty good numbers. And the past 30 days, Google Analytics has measured just under 6,000 audience page views. And that, according to them, is a 42% increase in audience participation over the month of August. So thank you very much. Well, here's our advertisers, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes or so, and we'll proceed with this interesting conversation. Thank you.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by heirs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at heirs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
Hi, I'm Sergey Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
This is live TV, so we must keep that in mind. But I'd like to know about your business. You're able to survive, of course, and find a way to have reinvented some things and innovate?
Well, sure. I mean, like everyone, the virtual home findings, although I'll have to say that most people want to wait until they're here. We're not doing that much of it. People would rather somehow would rather wait and actually visit the accommodation. There's been a lot of mergers and acquisitions in our market, and that means that we have been hiring. So we're busy training our team happy and trying to create an attractive place here at Copenhagen Relocations that people want to stay, because there's also that challenge of finding good talent, and people are come to a good place to sort of try and lure out our talent into their workplace. So yeah, this year is much better than last year. Simply put, last year we did take a hit, even though we were busy, but we're back very, very strong. Very happy about that. Feel
happy
blessed.
to hear that.
Yes.
So have you been able to go into companies, physically go into companies the past year, and meet and greet, or has it all been virtual?
Mainly virtual. When you say go into companies, like maybe for sales calls or just to pick up our transferees,
The sales calls, marketing.
Sales calls. It's mainly via Zoom or Teams. Yeah. And that's it works. Funny enough, yesterday we did have an in-person sales call, which was very nice. And yeah, we all sort of felt very privileged, even though we sort of no handshake, just the elbow bump. And of course, there's all kinds of hand sanitizers everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's not, my fingers smell. So.
Yeah.
So
I carry my little cream as well because it dries your hands out a lot. All that.
Yeah. So what about masks? Do you wear fashionable masks?
They've also let that restriction go. There are people who still use masks. I mean, I'm riding my bike to work every day, so I don't feel the need to wear a mask. And in the office, we're keeping the distance still. And yeah, people do wear them. They may bring that back because the numbers are going up. We had almost 4,000 new cases yesterday. So sadly, I guess one silver lining that there hasn't, I don't know that much all about it, but there's still that one variant, right? We haven't gotten a new one yet. So let's hope it doesn't come.
Yeah. Are people who are getting infected, are they unvaccinated for the most part?
Mostly unvaccinated, but there are cases of vaccinated people, but milder. It's milder. And the most of the people in the hospital are unvaccinated.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Yeah.
Really sick to think about all that. So let's talk about how you see, this is sort of a blue sky thing. How do you see your relocation enterprise changing in 2022 relative to this past year? More technology or what?
Definitely more technology. We have invested in a tool some time ago, and we need more time to really use it. It's like our brains, we only use 10% of our brains. And we have this huge tool that we really need to dive in deeper. But it takes time, as you know, with any kind of technological implementation, it takes some time. But this has an app. It's really a client-facing app, and it has a lot of whistles and bells that we're looking forward to diving deeper into and using.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
It's called, well, we've christened it Chris, Copenhagen Relocations Information System.
Oh, cool.
And it's, yeah. First, we called it Teddy because we wanted everybody to have a very friendly relationship with this new piece of change, right? Because change is challenging. It's challenging to embrace all these new things we need to be clicking and everything else and learn how it works. And yeah, but it's become Chris and still our friend.
So let me ask you a couple of questions, okay? And
Sure.
if you don't like it, just redirect me.
Okay.
Or just say, "Well, I gotta go," or something. So you're originally from Houston?
Well, you've heard of what a third culture kid is, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're-
so
you're-
I am I'm an American, and I'm born to American parents in Saudi Arabia, the second culture. And then I'm what you call a third culture kid, because in my formative years, I grew up in another culture other than my own. So Houston, I lived there for a long time, and that was my home. But I have, that saying, Ed, the home is where the heart is. And my heart is right here in Copenhagen, together with my family. And last year, I became a Dane, so I'm a dual citizen.
Whoa, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it is.
A happy place.
It is a happy place. I feel privileged to be part of this society now. Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice. So, our cousins, Anna Meta, she's works in a school.
Okay.
For many years, and she rides her bike, rain, wind, snow, ice, doesn't matter, every day, and
Yes.
that's amazing.
It is amazing. There's bad weather doesn't exist. It's just poor clothing.
and good boots.
Excellent boots, right.
Yeah.
I'll have to say, riding the bike in the snow it's less than fun, but we have to do it every now and then. It doesn't snow that much, right?
Yeah, because
like
you're
we're
right
so far
near
south.
the water. Yeah, you're near the water.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Boston and relocated myself and my business in 1980 to LA.
Okay.
And then down here in San Diego in 96. And I've been here since. But
that's a long time to be in San Diego, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I moved. I haven't gone anywhere for 2 years, but I mean, other than to
The beach.
The beach at least once a week.
Oh, nice.
But no, we've been in Hawaii. We spent December in Hawaii, and then
last year, weren't you there last year when we had that?
Yeah.
Big call?
Yeah, and then this past December we were there for almost the whole month.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. So we owned a condo there, but sold it.
Okay.
Yeah, this past January or February.
All right.
So regret it now, but at the time it was the right thing.
But it
to
seemed
do.
like a good idea at the time. Yeah, that's it's always tough, but there'll be other ones. There's some other condos to buy.
Yeah. So tell me, how would you recommend if you were at a dinner party or a cocktail party or some meeting, and the conversation came up about the relocation industry,
Mhm.
how would you recommend somebody look, a young person, younger than me anyway, but
And me.
how would you recommend people prepare to look into a job in the relocation industry? Because, I mean, you can't teach relocation. It's a hands-on
That's true.
thing.
That's true. Well, you have to ask yourself some questions and about how high is your emotional intelligence and how adaptive are you, and how do you like to juggle different balls in the air at the same time, even though, yes, that's multitasking. We only focus hopefully on one thing at a time, but there's just a lot of details. Are you a detailed oriented person? Because this job entails so much. We're like a psychiatrist, we're a guide, we're driving the process so we know who to contact. There's a lot of little bits and bobs that make a good relocation consultant. And we have a vision of happy transferees. And if I could just explain that just a little bit, you know, Ed, when you're having a good day, you're in the flow, things are working, you feel good, you feel happy. And when we come to work, we are happy, and we know there's going to be challenges, but we're going to find some positive solutions to resolve those challenges. And when we support the entire relocation stakeholder arena, and they feel our support, that's motivating for us. And then it's win-win. When they're happy, we get really psyched about it and happy about it. So this is our why. Why are we doing this? Because we really want to support in so many different ways that whole process. And that's the assignee, that's HR, it's maybe the global relocation management company, it's the immigration company. There's a lot of different elements, or the household goods, which right now is having a tough time getting things shipped around the world. So there's a lot to manage. And you also have to be resilient.
If you were to be a visiting professor at a college or even a high school, and you were talking about yourself and your job and all that, how would you recommend to the students that what courses, say, it could be anything, but just say pick out 2 courses that are subjects that you would absolutely demand that the students take and immerse themselves in prep for global business?
Well, I think in any kind of business, there's one thing that I've become more aware of over the years, and that's compassionate communication. Because we need to really listen and hear and understand what is going. We need to be able to anticipate needs and read nonverbal signs in all the people that we're dealing with. And that is crucial. And just communication in general is so crucial. If you get that right, chances are most of the other things are going to be right. So communication, number 1. Number 2, what would number 2 be? Gosh, that's a tough one, because I think communication is really, maybe psychology. If you have, because I feel that we are using a lot of psychology, a lot of tools.
So social psychology rather than mathematical psychology.
Yes, exactly, social psychology.
Right, and not that we have to get a PhD. It's just understanding about people. And what about travel? Assuming borders are open, but rather than parochial people. I mean, people that have maybe not as much experience as you, but some experience traveling and being with people who are different.
Absolutely. Travel is also key. You have to understand different cultures. And maybe that would have been the second one, cultural training, some kind of cultural classes, because you need to understand where people are coming from. And if you've had a relocation experience, you've walked the walk, you know what they're feeling, you can anticipate their needs better, and you tend to have a greater bond when you've done it. You know what's happening, and you know what they're feeling, and I'm sure you're aware of how on the emotional scale, relocation is way up there with death and divorce. It's such there's so much going on during a relocation, and there's so many details to pay attention to.
It's almost like a post-traumatic syndrome or something, because after like my son-in-law, Jeff, and his family, that they were sleeping on rented air spring mattresses and rented furniture, and they had to go buy stuff. And not only, I mean, they could afford it, but still, it was such a hassle,
Yeah.
combined with the stress or the sense of exploration. And it's like going to Disneyland at first, and then a week later, say, where the heck am I?
Yeah. Exactly. And funny enough, we relocated office it's 8 years ago now, but I remember that those first couple months, totally different environment, maybe walking up a flight of stairs too many, just a little bit, it took time to make this our own, just as it does with a lot of things. You need time to adjust and to let the dust settle and become acquainted.
Michele, thanks for being my guest on TV Talk Show here. And this has been a shrink session for sure. but I rather than smaller from shrinking, I feel larger and smarter having this conversation with you.
Thank you, Ed. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for asking me, and and I'm looking forward to your new endeavors and hearing more about the membership. And yeah, looking forward to hearing more about that.
Another reinvention.
Yes, but that's fantastic. That's what we need to keep doing.
Okay. Have a good evening, Copenhagen.
Thank you, and you have a good day. And I'm sure I'll see you out there in cyberspace soon.
Au revoir.
Ciao. Arrivederci. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.